Yes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. A lot has happened since the last time you saw me on this channel. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video. We're in March and I think the last video I uploaded was in December. I could be wrong, but yeah. A lot's happened since the last time I sat down to chat with you guys, and even during then there was a lot going on, but I just kept it on the low. So basically this is a life update and story time. I guess you can tell by the title. I had a baby. Yep, I had a baby. The good Lord blessed my husband and I with a precious little girl named Leora. She is amazing. We had her in February. She came a little early, but it's fine. And we found out we're pregnant back in August. So I'll just give you a little, history about how that happened, and then I'll go into my life where I was pregnant, and then I'll go into my birth story. So not sure if this is going to be a long video or it's going to be a short video. I'll try to remember as much as I can so I can include it. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and get started. But if you're not subscribed to my channel, now would be a great time to do that, because I'm going to try to upload some more content. Some of the content may be baby oriented, maybe motherhood oriented, because my life as we know it has now changed, but I'm still very much me, so I'll still try to have content with regard to luxury and lifestyle and just how things work. So yeah, so we got married back in 2018, as you guys know, and then shortly after, around that time, when it went on honeymoon in Italy, and I wanted to start trying immediately because I wanted to have a family. Right now I am 36, and I didn't want to be having children down, when I'm in my 40s. So it took us a while to have the baby. Things were not just happening the way I expected them to be, but eventually everything worked out together for our good. And if you guys want to hear about my pregnancy journey, which is a whole different video, which will require more information than is contained in this video, let me know down below. I'll be willing to make a video about that, discussing my struggles and how I overcame those issues within a timely manner. Because if you remember, I got married in August 2018, and we found out we were pregnant, thankfully, by God's grace and by God's divine doing, on our wedding anniversary in 2019. Isn't that awesome? Just orchestrated by God, 100% orchestrated by God. And there's something that I kind of secretly wished, was that by our first year anniversary, I'll either have a child or I'll have a child in utero. And God did it that not only did I have a child in utero, it was the day I found out. So that's awesome. I didn't find out through a home test. I found out through a blood test at my doctor's, just because of the procedure and everything that we did as far as conceiving and making sure that we had this healthy little one. But I eventually came home and took the test, and I still have it here. Now, I took a cheap pregnancy test because at that point I already knew I was pregnant, so there was no point in me going ahead buying a $25 pregnancy test. So I got like a $7 one, and I'm not sure if the line is catching it here, but if you can see it, there it is. It said I was pregnant, and then I filmed when I found out I was pregnant, on the phone when they called me to tell me the results of the blood test, and I also filmed when I came back home. And stopped by CVS, bought our very first baby item at that point, which was a tiny little pacifier. I have a picture of that. I may insert it here. I bought the pregnancy test, and then I came home and took the pregnancy test, just so I can have that feeling, that moment, like, yay, I'm pregnant. So yeah. So let's talk about the pregnancy, the entire pregnancy, if you will. I started out the first week just feeling a little tired, and I was like, okay, if this is all that it entails, I can handle it. But being that I found out really early, at when I was 4 weeks, before my missed period, if you will, I knew that there was a lot of room, there was a lot of time before anything happened. So I was just happy that at that point, the first 2 weeks, I was just a little tired. And then on a Friday, I went out with my friend Joanna. We had dinner. Joanna was pregnant. At that point, she was 6 or 7 months pregnant, because she had her baby in November and I had mine in February. So we were talking, and we're both attorneys. We became friends in court, and we were talking, and I just smelled like fish, you know, like a really strong smell of fish. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, do you smell that? And she's like, no, I don't smell that. From that moment, an intense wave of nausea hit me. But I ignored it. I thought, okay, maybe it was just that day. I took the train home. I was falling asleep on the train. And then from that day, the nausea hit. When I tell you that I had terrible nausea all through, well, I wouldn't say all through, but for the most part of the pregnancy. So first trimester, definitely. I was nauseous. I couldn't eat most of the things that everybody was eating. I had more aversions than I had cravings. I craved Nigerian food, not just Nigerian food like rice and stew or Nigerian food that I can make. We're talking about real ethnic Nigerian food that I probably ate when I visited a cousin who was from a different tribe from my parents, like things that my mother didn't even make, or maybe things that my folks didn't make on a regular routine basis. So I had that. I had really bad nausea. I had headaches. I threw up in the morning. It was just brush, throw up, and you throw up stomach acid from the night before. I did that. So between Friday and Monday, it was just too much. You know, I was throwing up every time. I was just miserable. I was like, how can I deal with this for 9 months? So I went to the hospital, and then they gave me a pill called Bongesta, which is the only FDA approved medicine for morning sickness. So I took that, and that, I guess it helped, because I was no longer throwing up at random places. I was just only throwing up in the morning. But then you get hit with a wave of nausea like every couple of hours. Everything just tasted funny. You have to eat every 2 hours. If not, you feel sick, and you just, I can't even explain it. I feel like there's a level of amnesia that comes to you after you've given birth, where you can't really explain the woes you felt while you were pregnant. But just know that I was sick. I did not have hyperemesis gravidum, which is an intense form of mornings of you know, sickness. And morning sickness just doesn't happen in the morning. It happens at all hours of the day. But I felt like I was pretty close. So before I started getting into routine with the Bongesta, because I was on the edge, I was like, I don't want to take any medication. My mom didn't take any medication, and she had 7 children. I went to Rhode Island. We went to Rhode Island, and we had a good time, and I was sick the whole time. We got on a boat. As soon as we got off the boat, I just threw up in a public bathroom. That's how gross, and I just felt like, oh no, this is what's going to entail. But slowly, I took the Bongesta. I was able to like have a little energy to just make it to work, and then come home and just be like miserable at home. I couldn't drink water if it didn't have like 6 to 10 ice cubes in it. And then at night, I'll wake up at night because of the nausea, and I'll reach over to grab like my crackers and everything. But then the aftertaste of everything was just terrible. So my husband recommended muscle milk, which was amazing. So at 2 a.m. in the morning, I would wake up and make muscle milk with milk, and then I'll drink it, and that will calm my stomach and keep me full and put the nausea at bay until I wake up. So I did that all through my first trimester and through halfway of my second trimester. Second trimester, I started feeling a little better. I was still very nauseous, but I started getting Braxton Hicks contractions early. I was still very tired. And then third trimester, things got a little better, although then I had to pee every 5 minutes. I had to pee every 5 minutes. I got a little backaches here and there. I did not have hemorrhoids. I did not have swollen feet or anything. I was pretty much the same facially. I only put on 23 pounds. While I was pregnant, I was all belly, thankfully so. But it wasn't easy. I had a lot of doctor's visits because I am 35 and up, and my medical team were just amazing in catching anything that could be problematic and just following up on everything and just making sure that this is what was going on. Going to court was difficult because initially you can't tell people that you're pregnant. I told people when I was 8 weeks because I was like, I can't just not tell you why I'm so miserable right now and why I'm not going to sit for 7 hours in this deposition going over and over BS. Really. And then third trimester came along, and at that point I was like, okay, I'm in the home run, but I'm really big. I wasn't that big, but for my frame I was. For my size, I believe I was. So, but she came in early at an age where she was still very healthy. So, and she was big when she was born, so bigger than 95th percentile of her entire birth weight. So that was exciting. My birth story. I was at work. By the time I had her, I still had about a week and a half before I was scheduled to go on maternity leave. So I was just in pain that day. I had a deposition, plaintiff's deposition, where I was the one asking the questions, and I was just miserable that day. I was like, what's going on? This is different from my regular Braxton Hicks that I have all the time. And then I came home, and then I was lying down, just relaxing, counting the baby's kicks, and just checking my social media. And then I got up, and I saw a little bit of blood, and I called hubby. I was like, okay, this is crazy. I don't like this. And he was like, okay, get your stuff. Let's go to the hospital. I had an idea of what I wanted in my hospital bag because I'd watched 100 million videos and I read 100 million vlogs. So that happened on a Thursday night leading into a Friday. That Saturday I was actually going to film my what's in my hospital bag video and eventually upload it at some point in time after I made a pregnancy announcement. Never happened. I was supposed to do a maternity shoot the next day. Never happened. I got to the hospital I just put some stuff together in my bag, which thankfully really helped me. I was smart enough while I was in pain, and it wasn't like an intense pain, it was like a dull, throbbing pain, to be able to put stuff together in a way that worked out for me, that helped me while I was there. So when I got to the hospital, I was there for 4 or 5 days. They gave me lots to keep the baby in. Eventually we made a call because my placenta was acting funny, and at that point they're like, okay, minus the fact that you were already in bed rest, because when I got to the hospital they technically put me in bed rest at the hospital, not like I was going anywhere else. So they decided that it was best for me to have a C-section. It wasn't an emergency C-section per se, but it was something that had to be done that day before close of business type of deal. So we had the C-section. They wheeled me into the operating room. My husband was there, being that he's an OB-GYN, but he did not operate on me, and let's make that clear. He was holding my hand the entire time. He was behind the curtain like I was, and I was just praying, and we were just talking back and forth, and we were both crying and both emotional about it because everything happened so fast. And yeah, after that, the whole process, I would say start to finish, was about 25 minutes from when they gave me a spinal tap to when they were wheeling me out. And then they showed me the baby. It's a girl. She was just long and really pink. And they sent her for evaluation, and then I stayed in the hospital for about 5 days just for post-evaluation, to make sure she was okay, to make sure I was okay. I've had abdominal surgery before, guys, and abdominal surgery is intense, but oh my god, C-section is just something else. Everything hurts. It took a while for me to get back to, I would say, normal, but eventually just every day, little by little. And after the C-section I came home, and then I started hemorrhaging. I had really heavy bleeding and really bad bleeding. I thought, oh my god, I'm going to die. But they eventually put me on medication that helped the bleeding, basically helped my uterus contract, because it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. And then I was breastfeeding. The first couple of days breastfeeding was not fun because I had a C-section and the baby came a little early, so my boobs didn't have time to like fully just get in the groove. And colostrum is the milk you produce the very first 2-3 days of after giving birth, and it's very essential to the child's development, and it wasn't coming out. So my husband and I were literally just like pressing my titties, just like, let's get the colostrum out, even if it's just a teaspoon, let's get it out. And then I started flowing. Eventually, it took a while. So now I'm nursing and expressing. So I pump in a bottle so my husband can feed her, or so I can feed her at night when she's too tired to nurse, because nursing takes a lot of jaw muscles and it's just a lot for her sometimes. But I also breastfeed so we can bond and so she can get used to the bottle. And yeah. Babe, yeah? Can you please bring the baby?
What baby?
Our baby.
Oh, that baby.
Yes. Thank you. So yeah, that was that. As for now, life as a mother is intense. It's beautiful. It's one of the most amazing feelings in the world, just knowing that this little person came out of you and she's half you and half your husband or your partner, and just beautiful. And I worry now than I ever have before. I see the world differently. I am more scared. I'm more anxious. But I am up at odd hours of the night, and my clothes are always covered in, baby puke, if you will. But I would not change it for anything in the world. With the craziness going on with coronavirus right now, I am so happy that I had her, now than had I waited till she was, you know, full term, if you will. So here's Leora. Oh, she's like, oh, this light. Oh, this light. What is going on here? Thanks, baby. Yeah, so this is my baby girl, Leora Ann. Leora means God's light in Hebrew, and Ann means grace. So yeah, she's just, it's almost her feed time. And every time, you know, I feed her, I change her right before I feed her, so it kind of like wakes her up a little bit so she's ready for the feeding. And then I feed her, and then in the morning we give her, you know, just a tiny bit of multivitamins, which I mix in her breast milk, so in a bottle, obviously not in my boobs, but that helps. That way she can grow stronger and just, yeah, be a hero and just be a warrior. As of right now, she's gotten bigger since she's been home. We've been home for about a little over 10 days, I would say, maybe about 12, not quite 2 weeks. Oh, tomorrow will be 2 weeks, and she put on weight. Right now she's already over 6 pounds, and she's 22 inches, which is very tall. Her femur length was measuring at 95th percentile.
Greater than the 97th.
Greater than the 97th, hubby says. And I'm 5'8", and my husband is 6'5", so we know that we're going to have a tall baby. So this is where I've been. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been up to. We did go to the Hamptons in August. I was pregnant then, but I wasn't showing, and I wasn't even sick at that point, just exhausted. I had a video of that I together, but I haven't gotten around to editing. If you guys still want to see that video of the Hamptons, it was a lovely, lovely day. Let me know and I will upload it for you guys. Also, I have a lot of mommy content coming your way, so I have some vlogs about my actual birth process when I was in hospital and all of that. So if that's too much information for you, that's fine. But if you want to see it, that's also fine. Just let me know down below. I have bought a bunch of baby products that I thought that I needed, and I'm finding out that I don't need. I'll be doing a video on baby products that you absolutely do not need. I will also do a video on what's in my diaper bag, yes, and also what was in my hospital bag, what you actually need versus what you don't need. So I have all that content coming your way, and let me know if there's anything mommy related you would like to see, as far as, you know, a day in the life of a newborn. I would try to do that when she's a little older, when we have an established routine. Right now I'm just loving up on her as much as I can, and we are just having the best, you know, having the best time and just enjoying this beautiful moment. So that's it for my life update, my pregnancy story, my birth story, introducing my little girl to you guys. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that. I upload videos as often as I can. I can't say once every 2 weeks now, just because a lot's been going on, and as you know, as a new mom, if you shower in a day, that's an achievement. If you're able to brush your teeth, that's an achievement. And we have a full face of makeup today because I decided to do this video, and hubby's home to help me out. He's on paternity leave for 2 weeks, and I'm already gone halfway through that leave, so I figured I might as well take advantage of this time to shoot this video. So I'm rambling again, but I'm so glad to be back. And for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, you have no idea what happened. If you follow me on Instagram, this provides more information as to why I was away, but you already know that I have a little girl, so yay. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you guys in my next video. Thanks, guys. Say bye. Bye, bye baby. Leora, say bye. Bye, guys.